2GR.
Hey everybody, welcome to the All Hands Podcast. I am Sean. This is Rudy.
Yo.
The guy waving over there is Onyx.
All hands, baby.
It's been a while since all three of us have done a podcast together. I don't think we've done one together in 2019.
Yikes.
Really?
Oh, man.
This is our third podcast this year.
Holy guacamole.
We're talking all PS5, PlayStation 5.
Tentative title.
I mean, who knows?
All podcast. So if you've been paying attention to the news, you will have seen that Sony invited a bunch of news outlets to their headquarters where they showed them a preview of what to expect hardware capability wise for the next PlayStation after the PlayStation 4 and Pro.
Craziness.
So we're going to talk about it. We got a lot of the specs here. We got some of the information here. We got a few different topics and questions that we wanted to go over.
Yeah.
So check out the timestamps. See if there's anything there you want to see. Without further ado, should I just kind of read through some of this at a top level real quick?
I mean, I don't know.
How you guys want to do this?
Well, first off, I thought it was just Wired that...
Wired had a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But other web like GameSpot and I don't know about Kotaku. I know GameSpot for sure had information on it too.
Okay,
so like they were all treated to information, but I think Wired got like
they got out
this
the gate
stuff
first.
like
they got out the gate first,
and the real heavy like hardware information, real technical
all
stuff.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should go over the basics of what everybody knows.
Yeah. So what is this PS5?
Well,
right. Well, tentative.
PS5.
Tentative. Yeah.
I mean,
I would be surprised if it's not the PS5.
Well,
they could be like, this is PlayStation right now. Sony has become smug Sony again. They're back to the end of PS2. Yeah, end of PS2, early PS3. That's how I feel with Sony right now.
Oh my god!
And that was Microsoft last gen. So what did Microsoft do? Let's call it the Xbox One because it's
they
your
bent the
one
knee.
thing.
That's what happened. They bent the knee.
Hashtag Game of Thrones. Hashtag spoilers. So
wow,
like they wanted to instead of coming up with a cool Xbox name, they said the One. And no offense, but it was like kind of like
it's kind of backwards.
But what's the name? It was
Redundant.
like all and almighty.
let's save that for the next podcast.
Yeah.
What about the PlayStation?
I'm saying is Sony's there. They may not name it the PS5. They could call it the PlayStation. I don't know.
Well,
Experience or something.
That being said, there have been
PSX.
business analysts that have gone ahead and said that this might be the last actual like console.
They've been saying that. They said that for PS4 too.
They did.
But look at how Stadia's doing.
And
how they're doing their stuff. Xbox just went ahead and came out with a discless console.
Right.
Which
fully digital.
This is confirmed to be physical media.
Yes,
Right.
that is something that they said in the article. So
I don't know why I thumbs up.
I don't know
Honestly, at this point, I almost don't care anymore.
about the PS5.
No, about physical media.
Physical media, really?
Well, I think it was this. Without going into it, I think it was the Switch that really got me to go, okay, just give me digital.
Yeah, but the Switch is like
something. No, they're both the same. I still buy physical media for my Switch, but I think my concern has always been with digital media versus physical is like
once they finish
when
supporting
they shut off those servers, they're gone for good. Like if you don't have a copy of it on your console and your console dies, you're kind of screwed.
And that is the importance of digital backwards compatibility.
Right, but they have to push it.
They have to support it.
Like right now, PS1 games are locked to the PS3 and the Vita. If they don't push that with the PS5, you're kind of screwed out of that. Like if I want to play Mega Man Legends 2, I pretty much have to emulate it if I don't want to spend $300 on a copy of the game and try to find a PS1 that works or a PS2 or a PS3.
I think they're going to have to go this way because you've got, well, first of all, you got PC in general, which hasn't really had too much of an impact on the console space, but you've got
PC Master Race.
But you've got Microsoft saying all our games now are just going to be everywhere. So I think Microsoft's embracing this sort of digital storefront for all of their games, as evidenced by their console ambitions.
Right.
So Sony's going to have to pick up and do something too.
They do. And I think we were discussing at one point, we'll get to that in a moment, but Stadia, streaming in particular. I mean, they've been trying with PS Now, and there were rumors floating around with PlayStation Plus offering a streaming service. instead of what's been offered before. Take away the free games and just give some sort of streaming options. If they go, let's be real here, guys. It's gonna go into streaming. That is the future of gaming.
If Google can go ahead and pull it off with Stadia, I mean,
not even just with Stadia, but
that
like
I saw, and I mean, we all saw this stuff with
yeah.
Digital Foundry and like them comparing the latency, and it was
Xbox.
it was
close to
Xbox One.
Yeah.
That is insane.
It wouldn't work for more action-centric games because
like FPS and
right,
stuff.
right. But anyway, we'll get to that. But
yeah.
So anyway, back to the PS4.
So all right, PS5. So it's got so Mark Cerny is in charge. So
right.
NAC 3 confirmed.
Right. NAC 3 confirmed, baby.
He did a great job with the PS4
and the checkerboarding and all that. That was really good architecture for sure.
I'm confident that whatever they pump out is going to be a very well engineered console.
Yeah.
Dude,
it's no fears there whatsoever.
No, and I mean your launch PS4 is still running. He had an unfortunate incident with his. Your PS4 died.
My OG PS4 died.
Right, and I have two PS4s. I have a Pro and a semi-OG. I bought it around the time Dark Souls 3 came out, and that one actually started giving me errors. So it's been about 3 years, and it started giving me like system errors. I get a lot of like the games just crash. That's why I ended up buying a Pro. Yeah. So I want it to be better quality. I still think that game, like consoles in general, they haven't been as good since the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox days. They really haven't.
Maybe instead of a Pro, you should have bought a can of air.
I do. I have one of those.
It would have been a lot cheaper.
You always give me this crap. I dust all my consoles. Like, you could ask my wife. She'll tell you. Yeah, he takes more care of that than whatever.
You had like 5 red rings, and I had like...
I had 1 red ring.
Oh, maybe it was me that had 5.
I didn't have any red rings.
Because you didn't own an Xbox.
Because I had never had an Xbox.
Anyway.
So this thing sounds powerful. That proprietary 8-core AMD processor. I mean,
I've been following AMD for like a while, and I'm excited for this, for 7-nanometer architecture on your CPU.
It's gonna be. It needed it though. The PS4 and the Pro have crappy CPUs. Like that, they've always been told they bottleneck the awesome GPUs that they had.
Yep.
So they needed this. So they need to have a good CPU. I don't know what the hell ray tracing is.
Oh my goodness,
dude.
Y'all need to explain to me what it is because I read that and I'm like, what?
You got to see it.
Is it like the God rays? That's what I think about God rays.
It like,
forgive me, internet, for being ignorant.
If I remember correctly, and I'm Team Red, guys, I'm not Team Green. We literally had a discussion about this off camera about NVIDIA and
that's
AMD.
right. That's right.
But ray tracing, as far as I know, is lighting on a pixel per pixel basis.
Okay.
So instead of the shadows kind of like being like objects, it literally processes it per pixel. If I remember correctly, is that correct?
Yeah. In computer graphics, ray tracing is a rendering technique for generating an image by tracing the path of light as pixels in an image plane and simulating the effects of its encounters with virtual objects.
Oh, wow.
So it impacts lighting
significantly. Yeah.
And there's videos out there of what Minecraft looks like with ray tracing.
It's
entirely
godlike.
Different game.
Godlike.
Entirely different
wow.
game.
Yeah,
Okay,
dude. Godlike.
Cool.
Mind blowing.
So lighting is really what's going to, like, I mean, with ray tracing, it's a focus on lighting, which in terms would be ambience, which in turn would be immersion.
So Crysis went ahead and put in their engine and used a modified GPU
Crytek?
from AMD. Yeah. Did I say Crytek or Crysis?
You said Crysis.
No, Crysis was the demo that they showed.
Okay.
So they went ahead and they used a modified GPU from AMD to show that they could actually do ray tracing on an AMD GPU.
Oh, okay.
Which,
is ray tracing an NVIDIA?
Yes, it's an NVIDIA thing.
Oh,
and it was exclusive to their RTX models, but they went ahead and they released it and they updated it to their GTX models, and the GTX is just tanking altogether. Like you pretty much kill. Well, it's very bad performance. Let's just say that
it's heavy on it.
It's heavy, very heavy on it. So that's why they kind of try to keep it towards the RTX models.
Okay.
That being said, if they can pull this off, I am stoked.
They wouldn't announce it if they weren't I
think it's the way of the future, really. I mean, it's not just going to be them. Xbox is going to have it too.
Well, they all need to.
Lighting is really
super crucial.
You know, you get to a point where it's like resolution. I know. So on here it talks about supporting 8K,
which we'll talk
4K,
about in a
we'll
second.
Get that in a second. And everybody's always been concentrating in the gaming space on resolution and just like how many polygons can you fit on screen, and that's been like a lot of the visual graphical improvements that we've seen from generation to generation.
But there's those diminishing returns at some point.
Yes.
There is, but that's where this is so important.
Yeah.
Lighting changes everything dramatically.
Definitely. I agree.
And ray tracing is basically the HD version of lighting, and it's awesome. It's a game changer. Awesome. It really is.
That makes me excited because I haven't, like, going into the PS4 generation, games did look good. But I don't think, like, yes, Uncharted looked beautiful, right? Like Uncharted 4, I think of that as like kind of like top end graphical game here, quality. But I don't think there hasn't been a game since the PS3 generation that has generally floored me with its graphics. Like the jump from PS2 to PS3 was so big that that's what I was mentioning.
That was the HD
returns.
generation.
It was huge. Like was everything. Like I remember when the 360 came out and we saw one of those early Gears of War demo reels. I was just like, what the hell am I looking at? This is gaming now? So there's those diminishing returns. I can't wait to see it. I hope that this generation really, like, makes me go wow again.
Well, I mean, it and this kind of goes into like the whole 7-nanometer architecture that like there's this thing called Moore's Law, which pretty much goes on and states that every 2 years tech is going to go ahead and go up a certain percentage. I think it's like 40 to 48%, if I remember correctly. And we are starting to plateau a little bit.
Yeah.
As far as like tech, processing power, and everything like that can fit in a GPU. Have you guys seen a Threadripper CPU? Mm-hmm. That thing is like twice the size of a normal CPU. And it's because of the size and the amount of cores and everything that fits in there that it has the type of processing power that it has. Yeah. So I don't know if this is going to go ahead and be, that size or anything like that. But I'm just saying that we are starting to hit a plateau as far as like innovation in hardware overall.
Right.
7-nanometer might lead towards a little bit of complications and errors in regards to silicone in general.
I was going to say, like, how big is this thing going to have to be also to fit all this stuff? Like, the PS4 is kind of tiny, but there's a reason why it's so small.
Well, the CPU size, unless it's like a specifically modified CPU, will be the same size as a normal AM4 socket CPU.
Okay.
At least that's my assumption. I don't know. But anyways, moving on.
How do you feel about 3D audio? Because I like the audio on the PS4 right now, like with my soundbar and with the headphones that I use. It sounds good, but I think we do need I like that they're improving the audio based on this.
What I based on what I read, he said the ideal setup for audio for the PlayStation 5, this is from Mark Cerny, is with headphones.
Yeah.
And that kind of blows my mind because to me, and I'm just not a big headphones user, the tech is just stereo, and it's like,
oh no,
you want to go invest in all these surround sound speakers, but it sounds like they're able now to get away from that. And
see, but that's the thing. So you think there's actually surround sound headphones that have multiple speakers in them,
like tweeters and
like 7.1 setups where you like I have a 5.1 cheapo like $50 Turtle Beach, and it replicates. It doesn't have multiple speakers in there, but again, that's a $50 headset that I bought on Black Friday. I was looking at some that were like upwards of $300, and those things like apparently have multiple speakers. Like you see the setup, and it's like 3 over here, and like a little amp and stuff. Like, it's insane what they can do. So I think to maximize this, you would want to get a relatively more expensive
set of headphones,
for sure. But it is kind of disappointing because I don't mind headphones, but I do like my surround sound, my sound bar. I do like that a lot.
Your home theater experience.
Yeah, well, correct.
Yeah.
You can't replicate the bass you get from a sub on a headphone. You can't.
So they started talking about the extremely fast high-end custom
SSDs. We need those. We've needed those.
Now, my question is this NVMe's 2.0s, or are they like 2.5-inch SSDs?
Oh, they're probably going to be the 2.0s, I'd imagine.
They're going to be the NVMe's?
I don't know. I have no idea. But
did it state anything in the article in regards to that?
I didn't look.
I don't think so. But I know that regardless of it, SSDs are needed for the loading times, and that's literally the next thing that we talk about.
It is, but I'm taking this with a grain of salt. So it talks about how. So the demo he did was here's Spider-Man running on a PS4 and a
PS4 Pro.
PS4 Pro.
At 4K resolution, something to keep in mind.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to teleport to this other side of the city, and it took, 15 seconds?
No, it was just loading. Was it going to the other side of the city, or was it just straight up loading?
He was fast traveling, and that was the load time.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay, all right.
I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's Great.
Correct us, internet.
Anyway, so 15 seconds for that, and then he did the same thing on a PS5, whatever they're going to call it, and it was less than a second.
That's insane.
It's insane, but here's the rub. It really all just comes down to how much data has to be loaded. And so what could end up happening is these developers can be a little bit more loose with their file sizes and their loading optimization, and now it may still, I'm being a little cynical here, but it may still take it still may take longer just because they're not compressing and compacting and making it easier to extrapolate all this stuff. They just put a whole bunch more stuff in there.
Either way, though, like an SSD speeds things up. If you look at a PS4 Pro with an SSD and compare loading times to a non-SSD, there's a big improvement.
It is clearly faster.
Which is why I mentioned the NVNEs, because the NVNe 2.0s, that's SSDs on steroids. That's like, you're not plugging in through a SATA cable, you're plugging directly into the motherboard.
That's probably not gonna. That's gonna be too expensive from this.
I don't know, man. Like I've seen, what was it? Western Digital. They just came out with a 500 gigabyte SSD. Correct me, internet. It's like $80, $90.
But is it one of the ones you mentioned? The 2.0s?
Yeah, the NVNe 2.0s.
That's not that expensive. But this is 1 terabyte, and they're saying it is custom.
Exactly. So there might be a specific deal that's happening behind closed doors.
Yeah, for sure.
Between the two partners.
They need to who knows? If they want to, like, what we were going to get to eventually, if they're going to combat in a way their downloads versus streaming, they do need to have a faster loading thing. Install time should, in theory, be way faster with this stuff that we're reading here.
Oh yeah,
because it took way too damn long for me to install Red Dead Redemption or any game really. It takes me 30, 40 minutes to install it, and then another 20 minutes to like download the patch, install the patch. It's taking me 2 hours to play a game like that. It should not be that way. So I'm glad they're
Google Stadia.
You're absolutely right. It'll solve all my problems.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I take that with a grain of salt just because of Google's history in regards to like support launching something and then just stopping support like 2-3 years down the line.
Also exclusives.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. So I mean, I would love to play Days Gone on the PS5.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm so sure.
But so technically, they're going to be supporting 8K.
I don't get that. Like, I get why they would say, okay, hey, we can, but we literally just got to the point where, like, 4K has become the norm. It just happened in the last 2 to 3 years.
So, I'm looking back at PS3 and, like, how there was...
That was 720p. It was, like,
720p
the normal 720p.
to 1080, and it still supported 1080.
But it wasn't even native, mind you. It was like 1080. It would try to hit 1080p, but it was typically a 1080i signal, like upscale to 1080p.
900p and
right. Which we're still getting that on the PS4.
Really?
Yeah. There's certain, like Doom.
Xbox.
I think Doom was running 900p at 60 FPS. I think. If not, then the Xbox One for sure.
But even still, I'm just saying that I feel like Sony each generation goes ahead and supports their hardware.
They want to support
at least one jump in resolution. That being said, 8K, like, have you guys seen 8K at CES this year?
No.
Like, dude, it is ridiculous. You need like at least like
100 inches, like you need a big TV.
A minimum.
And that's where those SSD load times are gonna still take a long time if you're loading
when
a bunch
8K?
of 8K textures.
Exactly, because he showed it was 4K that he was.
Yeah, they didn't show any 8K.
Exactly.
But that's what the thing is. We are not at a point where we're gonna need it. I think 4K is a sweet spot for at-home viewership. Like you just said, 8K is gonna look good, on a 75-inch screen, maybe an 80-inch. 60 inches, 65. It's super diminishing returns. Like my 4K now in my living room looks great. It definitely looks better than my last set, but I don't think it was a huge jump. It definitely wasn't. Like going from my 40-inch to
HDR is what really pushed.
And even then, like they should whatever. Anyway, I 8K is cool. I really what I would love for them is to focus on every single game hitting 1080, 60 FPS, 4K with 45 to 60. Like that's what they should really aim for.
We can't do that.
They can't still do that.
That's too much.
They hit 8K, but they can't hit 60.
I think that pretty much covers the specs. There were a couple other bits of information that were released.
Yeah, new VR stuff. Backwards compatibility.
Let's talk about that because I was right.
He was. We ate crow. Me and Rudy said for the longest time, it ain't gonna happen.
A couple years.
It ain't gonna happen.
Over this.
It's not gonna happen. And like, here's the thing, guys. Like, Sony,
We're eating crow.
we are.
Lots of it.
But
And I'm gonna make them eat it for a long time.
So far, we
But
know that it's only PS4.
only PS4
so
For now.
far.
for
So
now,
far, right.
and I sincerely do not believe that they're going to go further back.
I don't believe so either. Solely because they have the opportunity to make money off of this.
PlayStation
They say,
now.
okay, PS4. Let's give the incentives to these 90 million people that own PS4s to buy a PS5. Literally,
Right.
trade it in, get in there, let's go.
I'm not trading my PS4 in.
But we'll get to that. But then you also say, okay, guys, we're launching a new storefront, kind of like a virtual console for Sony, where we have PS1 games, PS2 games, hopefully PS3 games.
Yeah, Vita, PSP,
I don't know if they'll
full
get into
digital
the.
storefront.
That would be really cool because there's a lot of Vita games that I
If they can just
Well, it's like
emulate
two
all
video
that
games
stuff,
to play.
because going forward, everything is being
Persona
built on this
3.
PC-based architecture, so they're not
Right.
going to have these crazy cell technologies anymore.
Right. So hopefully they get all this on here, and that's their opportunity. They can resell this stuff, or like the rumors are saying, throw out an extra benefit to being
Subscription
to a
or
PlayStation
something
Plus
like
member.
that,
You know,
yeah.
I can see
so
that.
that's why I don't think they're gonna go full backwards compatible.
I don't think so.
But it would be awesome if they said once they launched that if you own a copy of the game, like Xbox
Xbox?
does, put it in there and there's your key. You own the game already. Why would we
Yep.
make you pay for it again? Again, that's like I give so much props to Microsoft for doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Because I could buy an Xbox One today, put in my copy of Panzer Dragoon and play that in 4K. Like that is stupid easy. And Sony should do that, but they won't.
Well, I mean,
They won't do that.
personally, like, I don't think they will. Look at how they handled cross-platform play
Yeah, that
with
was rough.
Fortnite and them locking accounts.
Which I hope they don't do that again this gen. But
No, it's dumb.
Yeah.
And again, we go back to that whole arrogant PS2,
Yeah,
PS3
yeah.
Sony. This is
$599.99, baby.
Ridge
Racer.
Racer.
Hang on,
Crabs.
hang on. We're hitting a bunch of different things right now.
Okay, I know you want to talk about.
But-
Yeah, are you really going to trade in your PS4?
I am considering it because think
Well, you
about
have
it.
two of them.
I do. So I would trade in the older one and just keep
Yeah.
the Pro, right?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
But my mentality is this: like it's
have
fully
PT.
backwards compatible.
Thank you. That was the two-syllable answer
I
for why
have-
it's
I have
not
PT.
happening. PT.
Oh,
I have PT, and technically I have PT on both consoles.
If
Yeah.
you can,
But that's
if
that's
there
just
is a
me.
file transfer option where you can like transfer your entire.
Oh my
content.
yeah, but
God.
then you need that to get on potentially. I don't know how you actually archive stuff right now on the PS4, but if there's a way to archive it and then pull it back
Well,
like onto a
you
USB
can have
and then
a-
pull it back
yeah,
down on
you can.
PS5.
You can.
Until
Use
a
an
hard
external.
drive.
But I want that to be proven
Well, you need a fat
before
a
PT
fat
is
32
lost.
setup
Yeah.
HDD.
You'd have to check.
then plug it in,
I'm pretty sure you can
put it
because you
in,
could do that on
and it's-
PS3. You can literally back it up
It's
into a hard
it's
drive.
gonna be
and
like
yeah.
it's gonna be like, you know,
You could run Linux on that.
it's gonna
bad
be
boy.
like when you started
used
out
to.
with Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby,
Oh.
and you've got Pokemon from that game, and you keep trading them up through all the that's PT.
yeah.
We're gonna
Pretty
be
much.
trading PT up to our
Jesus.
Gen 8
frigging T.
Pokemon games.
Yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, I get what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
trading it in. I got my PlayStation graveyard. It's
it's right
it's-
there.
1, 2. Where's your 3?
It's downstairs.
It's
It's a
downstairs.
Blu-ray
Used.
player.
it came back to life. The network card for that was
Oh, I
dead
remember
for
that.
like 2 years.
I remember that.
Nothing. And as soon as we moved in here, it must have been in transit. It just magically started working
That's so
again.
funny.
So it's like,
Hey,
okay.
whatever works.
So I don't know.
Whatever
Like I would trade in though if it since it is like there's genuinely no reason why you wouldn't. It's potentially gonna run the games better from the get go
Well,
without a patch.
And I'm sure you'll save like $100.
That's the other thing that I'm thinking about. Like it depends on how much like these stores will offer you.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not trading in my PS4. It's not happening.
Well, I know you want your PT, so unless you can, if they do say you can back it up, which I know Reset Era will 100%
That's
come
been
out.
my buddy since 2013.
Since 2013.
I'll never forget. I was at Disney that day, and mine came in the mail, and you were just like, "No!"
Yeah, I was like, "Whoa, where's mine?"
And I was like, I'm waiting till they have actual games on it.
Loser.
And then you discovered Dark Souls 3 and
And,
Bloodborne.
I mean, that's the reason I got it, and I was happy because I got Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3
what
within
was
a month.
what was their big killer? Not their killer app, but it was their it was
was
their
Bloodborne.
PS Plus killer app. It was all those voxels. It was that shooter game.
Oh, Shogun? No, not Shogun. Resogun.
Resogun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
You guys
God,
put the crap out of that.
That was the
So
PS4.
That
Yes.
was the
That
PS4
was
Look at all the
killer
stuff we
app.
have on screen. Oh,
That was
so
the
good.
PS4 killer app. A PS Plus game. Yeah, they needed games,
It was
and that's good. I really hope,
Killzone Shadowfall,
which sucked.
Battlefield 4.
Actually, a bad game.
Battlefield 4.
Battlefield 4 was arguably a crappy game too.
It was when it first came out.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's move on to our next topic.
Actually, we should transition. That's a perfect transition to PS5 launch title.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, do we care about price? Do you want to touch on price?
We do care about price.
I mean,
So-
dude, of course we care about price.
I think 500 is probably going to be the price.
I agree.
That's fine.
I think that's now. Are you okay with it?
However, hold on. We're forgetting something though.
What?
If they do a digital storefront, if they try to go that way, they could release 2 models, disc and discless, $100 cheaper.
Would you go discless?
No, hell no. You know me.
I know. Would
But,
you go discless?
Yeah, to save $100.
To save $100.
It's going to depend on a stat that I don't think they talked about, and that's how much onboard memory it comes
1
with.
terabyte.
I said 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
Oh, it says 1 terabyte?
Yep. It doesn't say it here, but it was
How much is
confirmed
the
that it was 1
PS4?
terabyte.
500 gigs?
500, and the pros have 1 tera.
Yeah, and I filled that up fast.
Me too. I already had to delete some.
Oh,
Well, Red Dead took up 100, so there's that. But I deleted that
Just God of War,
once
I
I
had to
finished
get
it.
rid
I mean,
of-
I'm fine with it. Whatever.
1 terabyte is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's gonna suck because games are getting bigger, but
Our game's going to get more expensive.
Well, with the read and write speeds of MVNE 2.0,
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
so yeah, I think that's what'll probably happen.
I could see it being 500.
Yeah.
I'd love it if they did $400.
Again, oh
Dude,
my
that
God.
would just-
$399.
If they,
Yeah.
but
They
see,
said did they say in the article that they were going to sell it at a loss? Because I heard that somewhere.
They always
You
sell them
say,
at a loss.
yeah, everything that comes out new is always at a loss, unless it's like,
but these
Unless it's the
they have
Switch.
to be because
Yeah.
they have to
No.
be competitive.
yeah,
Oh, I
They
guess.
they are
they're banking on the software
Yeah.
at first. Yeah, eventually they start selling it.
it's going to be a war. I'm very curious to see what happens between them and Microsoft.
It's gonna be very interesting, and that's the thing. What does Sony needs to do to stay ahead?
yeah.
Wow.
Launch titles.
Okay, and basing off of that, we've already discussed that there's rumors that Death Stranding might be cross-gen.
Yes.
Last of Us 2. Apparently, they just filmed the very last scene for that game. Neil Druckmann
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima?
tweeted
Is that?
Ghost of Tsushima. I mean,
Did they say?
no, there's no
anything?
release. There's no release date
They
on
just
that.
showed it at the conference.
There's no release year on that, on Death Stranding or Last of Us 2. So we
It's
literally
all
have-
still TBD.
and this is supposed to come out next year. Why the hell not? Why would they not
Why
put
would-
them all cross-gen? That would be a hell of a launch
That
window.
makes so much sense why they're not at E3.
Same thing with Cyberpunk.
So-
It may or may not be cross.
Well, big
Well,
rumors
no,
are saying
they
this
said
year.
that it's this
Big
year.
rumors
Oh,
are this
really?
year.
Like huge.
But that doesn't
rumors.
mean that they couldn't release
Which
it.
is terrible because it's like if it comes out in like November. See, we're in this really weird spot now in the gaming cycle where there's a lot of great games that we know are coming and we know they're coming soon, but there's also this new hardware. It was like with The Last of Us kind of not so much, but Grand Theft Auto 5 I remember was a big one where it was like
It came out at the end.
it came out at the end. They didn't announce any new. They didn't announce a next gen version of it for PS4.
Not until like a year and a half later.
But then it. Maybe I'm misremembering. It's
Yeah,
been
because
a while.
GTA 5 did come out on
But
PS4.
that was the struggle. It's like I don't want to wait.
Yeah, no.
But you don't know until we know. Okay, let me put it this way. This is what I'm trying to say. If we know that Cyberpunk comes out in like November,
God
you.
bless you.
that must be happening because I just sneezed. So if it's coming out in November, we better know well before November the launch month of these consoles. Because if they tell me it's coming out in March,
You might as well just
I
wait.
am not getting Cyberpunk.
It is not
until
coming out in March. They would never release a console in
That's a
March.
holiday season thing, I think.
Yeah, they would never release a console. Nintendo did it, and
So
it
then-
worked.
But then if they
Yeah,
say,
but Nintendo's Nintendo, dude.
but that's
kinda
that,
do
but that's
like
what
they
I'm
do
saying.
their own thing.
If they
and
say
it
it's
just
going to
works.
come out Q4 2020, and Cyberpunk comes out in November, okay, I'll
It's a
bite the
year.
bullet. I'm
Yeah,
not going to
yeah.
wait a year to play it because then the conversation's over a year later.
right.
But
That's
we need to know that kind of information here pretty
Cyberpunk?
shortly.
Cyberpunk, but this is the thing. If
It's
it
the
is
same with The
fully-
Last of Us. It's the same with Death Stranding. It's the same with
But
Ghost
this
of
is the
Tsushima.
thing.
If those all launch this year and we still have to wait a year, that sucks because then what do they have?
Spider-Man 2.
backwards
God of
compatibility.
War 2.
God of
True. But you know what they also have? Backwards compatibility. You got to remember.
Yeah, but I don't want to play it a second time necessarily.
Well, you wouldn't have to. Not if they launch it
But
4
if
months
you can
later.
transfer the data files.
If it's 4 months later, then why do they have a PS4? Then I'm going to wait for the PS5 version.
They
I
might
want
be
to buy
banking on
that
that.
version.
They might be
not
banking
an
on that.
upscaled PS4 version.
Well, what? There's not going to be a PS5 version. Like,
That's what cross-gen is.
no, cross-gen means...
You think it's going to be a
Cross-gen
Blu-ray?
means a PS4 version and a PS5 version.
that was from before.
That was from before.
When they weren't backwards compatible. Now
It's
is.
like a GameCube version and a Wii version of Zelda.
I guess. But
it's
that
like-
one had a whole totally different
But
control
where
scheme.
I'm going with that is if they release Cyberpunk this year as
Okay.
a PS4 title,
Right, and the PS5 is
and a
obviously not out.
PS5 is not out, and then PS5 comes out later, are they saying they're not going to go back and make... There isn't going to be a PS5 level version, it's just PS4 backwards compatibility? I'm under the impression there will be some games that are two versions. One that can take advantage of
You know why it's a little
Ray
hard
ray
for me to
tracing
say
tracing,
that?
and
all
one
that.
that can't.
Because of what happened with the PS4 Pro this gen. PS4 Pro, I get it, it's a beefed up PS4. But,
Yeah.
you know, like,
It just makes things load faster and look better.
right. And that's kind of what
resolution.
this is doing. It's making things look better
But
and
you
load
have
faster.
to but you have to build in to your development some of the things that this hardware is going to give you.
It could always be patched later. That's the thing. A lot of stuff could potentially just be patched later.
If they just release one SKU of the game and then it's backwards compatible and they update it, okay, great for them. But if it's anything like it was last gen where there's a PS4 version and a PS5 version, I'm going to want to wait.
No, for sure. But I think that's also going to upset a lot of people.
It would.
That would.
That's
Because
the problem.
it's like... You're selling this backwards compatibility with last gen. You're telling me all of my games from PS4 are gonna work on this,
Bloodborne,
and they're gonna look better.
day one.
Hell yeah! You know I'm gonna try that. Finally, Bloodborne is 60 FPS. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It'll
Hey, but
have
those load times will
30
be
to
gone.
30 to 40 because
30
From
to
Software
40.
can't stabilize shit.
You die and you're right back to life again. You don't have to wait.
It's like
Sekiro,
Celeste.
baby, let's go way faster. Oh my god. Anyway.
Dude.
It's gonna be really interesting, and I think like just to finalize that topic of what Sony needs to do, digital storefront, really good launch titles. If they literally tell us right now we're not gonna release Last of Us 2 this year, we're not gonna release all like
They
Ghost
have
of
to not
Tsushima,
release
Death
them on
Stranding.
PS4.
They don't. No, they should just save them for PS5.
They
but,
have to.
but it'll be like a cross gen at that time. Say like it'll be a PS4 game and a PS5.
But
game.
then nobody's going to get a PlayStation. They're all going to get an Xbox.
What?
Because everybody's already got a PS4. That's the point. That's the problem. You have to show up with a PS5 and say, hey, it's great. You can play all your old PS4 games. But everybody who already has a PS4 doesn't need a PS5 to play those games. You have to show up with PS5
Exclusives,
exclusive content, or else Microsoft's going to go, well, we got exclusive content.
I know that
and you know,
a lot of people are going to be so mad if all those games get pushed out to PS5 though, because they've been promising away for
yeah,
PS4.
well, they promised
Have
Final Fantasy 13 Versus on the PS3, and we just barely got it. Well,
no,
we got it halfway through the PS4 life cycle.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a.
but that was different. That we literally got into the new gen with that, you know. So this is something that was
That's-
announced. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
different, I guess. It's slightly different,
But I don't know, man.
it's weird. But
I-
anyway, we'll see how it plays out. They still have a year and some change.
Okay, if we say those titles are
They just need
cross-gen,
games.
what
They
do they
just-
need? Well, what are some games? What
God
are
of War
some
2.
games?
God of War 2. I fully expect to be a PS5 game.
But is that a PS5 launch title or launch window title? They need a launch window title.
I think
It could be.
honestly,
They-
for PS5, like a launch game will be Resogun 2.
Resogun 2,
and Microsoft's
baby.
going to show up with
Knack 3, baby.
Microsoft's
Knack
going to
3.
show up with Halo Infinite. So what do you have on the Sony
Uncharted.
fence?
Uncharted with a new protagonist.
They
Protagonist.
did that. Uncharted Lost Legacy.
That wasn't a
That
new
was supposed to
protagonist.
be-
Well,
no,
I guess it is a new protagonist. I guess.
That's a new person that you can
And
play
who's
as.
making that game?
Naughty Dog. What would the Naughty Gods do it?
The Last of Us Part 2.
Right. Right. I forgot about
Do
that.
you want some coffee?
Horizon Zero Dawn 2, baby.
That has
Okay,
actually
Guerrilla
been
Games.
talked about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's...
I'm not gonna
there
play it,
you
but
go.
yo, it'll come out.
There you go. No, now we're talking. So Guerrilla Games...
Killzone, actually good
Oh
this
my
time.
God.
Guys, we teamed up with Naughty Gods.
Killzone Shadowfall 2. On the
This time it's
PlayStation.
good.
It wasn't
Oh man.
bad. I mean,
Doom 3.
It looked pretty.
Third-party stuff. They can make a new Witcher
Yeah.
for the time because
But those
Cyberpunk
are
will be
gonna
done.
Oh,
third
man.
party's gonna be cross.
But they have
cross-platform.
talked about Witcher 4.
Yeah, they have.
Well,
But that's
teased.
cross-platform.
I don't know, dude.
They-
I don't
they
know.
have
What,
they have
what do
another
they need to
project.
show up with to make you buy a PS5?
Honestly, I said it already. I personally want backwards compatibility. If they let me play my old PS1 and PS2 and PS3 games,
That'd
hell
be
yes.
awesome.
That's gonna be like a super duper. I want it. And then I don't know, just decent games. Like I want to like look at that and say, okay, Dark Souls 4 is coming out. I want that.
You would want another Dark Souls?
I definitely want our Dark Souls or our Bloodborne. Bloodborne 2 would be.
I would
friggin-
want another Bloodborne over another Dark Souls.
Okay, there. Now we're talking. So if they launch with Horizon
Zero Dawn 2.
Second Dawn,
Well, technically it would be First Dawn.
Horizon
Start at
you're
zero.
right. First
so.
Dawn. Oh my god.
and Bloodborne 2, if those are your two launch titles
That's
for
decent.
PS5, no,
decent.
that's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's really, and then some.
I want to say
smaller
really
things to
good.
pad
That
it
only
out.
goes to like very small niche
and then
players.
Drive Club 2 or something. Okay.
No, you got Call of Duty.
no.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty's gonna be on both.
you need COD.
I'm talking about
You need
specific
COD.
to their console.
Yeah. So Horizon, and God of War. Ooh.
Crash Bandicoot.
God of War is
4.
gonna be first year. I don't think it'll be launch window.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know, but
I don't
we'll
know,
see.
man.
Maybe even Spider-Man.
Ghost of
2.
Tsushima.
I can see Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Like,
That's a 2-year development game.
yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
2020, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yakuza 7?
Oh my God, the next Yakuza. You're so right. They're literally making that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Damn, that would be.
Well,
I
now
would
I'm just thinking
100%
about
buy
third
that.
Yeah.
party
I mean,
games.
Those are exclusive. Well, and PC.
oh, yeah.
They've been exclusive to PlayStation.
Borderlands 3
Oh my
remastered
God.
on PS5.
Anyway,
You'd probably buy it again.
that's what we would need. I want performance
Devil
though.
May Cry 6.
Hell yeah!
Dude,
I want performance though.
that's so
I
good.
really, really want him to hit 60 FPS over the.
You know,
like,
I'll
the
be
entire
honest with you,
time.
man. Like, playing Devil May Cry 5 on PC, and then I went back to play, I think it was Spider-Man on PS4.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my
Yikes!
God.
At 30 FPS, baby. Wow. Yikes! Yeah, it's rough. It's rough.
It's rough.
Even Sekiro, like that's locked at. No, it's not locked. It's like 40 to 45 on average.
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
you
The
can-
MC5 looks so much more smoother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
I'm still used to my OG PS4, so PS5 is gonna be like.
I hope
You're going to jump from like 15 FPS
I'm gonna-
to like 60.
I'm gonna go pick up Shadow of the Colossus finally
Oh my
and play that on
God.
my 4K
Oh.
on PS5
Oh my God! Yeah.
That is such
with
a
3D
brilliant
audio,
game.
and I'm just gonna be like,
That's such a... And the ray tracing, it supports it.
Dude, they update that with ray tracing.
Ah. Oh my God.
wow.
I don't think we had a question here. Possibility for modular hardware. I don't think it's gonna be modular.
No, when we were talking about
What do
it,
you
I
mean
was
by
like, I
that?
wonder if it would be
you
modular.
can upgrade it.
That you can
like,
upgrade.
You can put like more RAM
because
in it,
of
or-
what the analyst said, saying that this is going to be the last like console and stuff like that.
Yeah, they say that there'll be a PS5 Pro
Oh, for sure, 100.
3 years from now.
The Pro sold
Probably.
enough to do that, and you know what? My PS5 is probably gonna be dying right at that moment. Like,
Probably.
oh, look
I
at
mean, that's
that.
what happened with
No, you don't. Shut your mouth.
Air can.
dude.
So annoying.
Just don't put it on your carpet and you'll be fine. Take the towel
Have you
off.
not
of
It
it.
doesn't even have carpet. Do you have?
No.
No, it's all
Take the
tile,
towel
right?
off of your PS5.
So annoying.
Just move your dog.
Just go live in Alaska. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's less dust up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of pine needles.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. I just to start wrapping this up, I think that this has a huge potential if they play their card right. I know 100%.
Yeah.
They are pushing backwards compatibility.
Burkworth.
I know. Shut up. I'm tired. They're pushing backwards compatibility because they have 90 friggin' million people that own a PS4. And if you can entice half of those to jump,
Those are sales,
like
man.
to jump on
Those are
exactly.
sales. That's
exactly.
what they look at. They look at the numbers.
And thinking of next gen, rumors about the Switch, for example, saying how they're going to come out with a smaller console this
That's
year,
coming out this year.
and then a next generation Switch later. Everybody knows they have to upgrade at some point. Like they have to. They're gonna. I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting thing.
So I don't want to have a conversation about Microsoft in this podcast. I think at some point we should do this again. For
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Microsoft.
totally.
Yes.
But I do want to ask this question. Let's just make an assumption without theorizing about what it could be. Let's assume Microsoft, when they do their big reveal, their console is more powerful.
They've already said that it is.
To be seen. We still need to wait.
Yeah,
I believe
there
it.
are no
I
specs
believe it,
or
though.
anything like
There's
that.
nothing that's big.
I
There's
believe
no
it though,
specs,
because the
but I
One
believe
X
it.
like
Okay.
is a beast.
But let's assume that is true.
Yeah.
And so now you're sitting here, fresh going into the new generation, and you've got two pieces of hardware. One is clearly more powerful. Don't know by how much, but it's more powerful. What are the factors that will drive you to making a decision if for the first couple years you can only pick one?
Can I say?
Go for it, baby.
Price.
Okay.
Price.
So that was one of the biggest things that happened when this generation started.
Yeah.
$399, $499.
Sony
was big.
also had the more powerful console.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was like a
But-
no-brainer. That's
but-
why they like buried Microsoft.
Exactly. So
More
it's
powerful,
a
less
perfect
expensive.
storm. More powerful, less expensive. Done. No brainer.
Okay,
I
but
don't
in
care.
this-
I will sign up for Xbox Live tomorrow.
But let's assume that they're the same price.
If they're the same price, then I would go with the more powerful one.
Okay, but what about the games? That's my criteria. I need to have games that I'm gonna want
Because
to
you got
play.
you've got games that you could play day one already on PS.
Correct.
5.
That would presumably look better, and not just
Presumably.
that. I know that there's gonna be another God of War, which I would want to play.
Well, of course.
I know there's gonna be
Especially with all the
so
awards and the money and everything.
If you're Sony, and maybe you're smug Sony, which is the problem. Smug Sony's going, we got 90 million people. They're just going to stay with us, and we don't have to put in a whole lot of effort. But if you are smart Sony, you're going, Xbox, if they come out with a more powerful console, we got to try to at least match the price, if not make it lower. What else are we going to do with our brand and our company and our new console to entice Xbox players to get
to
a
come
PlayStation?
to us. Yeah.
What is it? What is that?
Xbox players, they've always been stuck to them because of Live. Like people that started in Live didn't really want to lose out on what they had already.
Dude,
That was me.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But it was the perfect storm, like you said, of lower price, better quality hardware.
And
But
a lot of their
looking-
policies.
And
looking
the
at
Xbox
PSN,
policies sucked.
looking at PSN in comparison to Xbox Live, do you think Xbox Live is better?
It is.
I know it is.
Xbox Live 100% has a better system going.
Honestly, I don't know today because I don't pay attention to Xbox Live today. But back then, on the PS3 and 360, hell yeah.
And it still is.
Xbox Live.
still
It still is.
dude.
PS Plus has way more outages. They had the whole hacking scandal happen.
Yep.
You know, like
That's true.
Like they unfortunately, and honestly, like yes, the games are cool. Xbox has Game Pass, man, and that thing is ridiculous. Like you can play brand new games right there and then.
Their games,
That's the problem.
their games this gen
Well,
have not been
they're
the
exclusive.
greatest.
They're
That's
setting themselves up next gen.
That's why they're
They
buying up
are.
everybody
Those
else.
exclusives.
Buying up Ninja Theory,
Well-
talking to these partners.
Oh yeah, the trip to Japan.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
come
yeah.
on.
They're definitely.
They're setting up their cards, and that's kind of why I don't know.
But
we'll see.
but and then we're kind of getting into the Microsoft piece. But they're play these games anywhere. So if I've got a PS4, a PS5, and a PC, I could go play Halo Infinite over there. I don't necessarily need an Xbox.
That's why I said even when I said earlier, like if they throw out Panzer Dragoon exclusively on the Microsoft console, I'd buy that.
And
That's what I'm saying. Like they kind of need to realize, guys, if they put it on PC, I'm just gonna want to play it on my PC if I can. Granted,
Right.
my PC's getting old now, so I
Right.
may not be able to play them. Obviously,
go get a new PC.
right? Just upgrade it here or there. You
Screw
know?
the Xbox. And that's what Sony is banking on.
Right.
Is that people
Possibly.
will go, I got my Switch, I got a PlayStation 4, let me upgrade to a PS5 because I got a computer to play Xbox games, and I'm done.
And honestly, Microsoft maybe just thinking like them going into a digital only console kind of makes me think like they could see this as a storefront. Like if Microsoft said the next Xbox is the last Xbox and we're gonna focus on just becoming the next Steam, they could do that too.
This
Sell
could-
their own box for the TVs.
This could be their slow transition out of the hardware market, potentially. And that's maybe
Yeah.
why smug Sony's being smug Sony.
right.
I could see that.
And
Just
so and
because-
Nintendo has their own friggin' thing. Like nobody.
Nintendo's got the handheld space locked.
No, yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
there.
Locked.
And that's the reason why the Switch is succeeding. Because if the Switch was a standard console, like literally a standard console, it would not be doing as well. I guarantee you, it has great games, but it would not do as
This
well.
is not actually real good if you are a Sony fan, because it makes it seem like Sony does not have its competition's going away, so they can be
The only
Sony.
they can be less
Yeah, they can be super
consumer
smart.
friendly and more corporate overlord, and not have to worry because people will come buy their games.
So we'll see.
We'll see what
like
happens.
there will always be new competitors. Like the Stadia, as much as like it is really hard for that thing to launch. Like there is potential there.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Totally.
potential. I don't see Google being.
Google's weird.
You don't have
Google-
Nintendo. You don't have any of the big three's franchises.
No.
No, it's all
No, they would
third
have
party.
to make it. Yeah, they would have to make it.
It's all third
make
party.
new games that are like literally awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the thing. When Microsoft first came out, people were like, "What the hell? What is Microsoft
Yeah,
doing?"
but they had Halo.
Well, nobody
Yeah,
knew what Halo
nobody
was.
knew what Halo
Oh, they
was.
knew what Halo was very quickly.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, very quickly. The same
Yeah.
thing could happen with Stadia. They
Yeah.
can say, "Oh, we
Well,
have
what
this
do they
game.
got?
By...
We have this game. Check it out.
What do
All
they
of a
got?
sudden, the reviewers go
What-
nuts, and
but
it's
what
just
do
like,
they
oh,
got?
I gotta check this
Oh,
out.
we don't know
We
anything
don't know
yet.
anything. That's the thing.
When Halo
All
was
they
first
did was
shown,
show 2 games.
everybody was like,
I know.
"Okay, these
I'm
guys,
being a little
Bungie."
facetious.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what it is. PS5 is gonna be great.
I don't know, man.
Gaming's gonna be
is it?
great. I don't know. It's gonna suck.
I
Gaming's
sincerely
gonna die
think-
out.
I sincerely think that Xbox and Microsoft are going to go to the same. I've said it before, the same way that Office has gone. That they just whore
it
their
everywhere.
their software, put it everywhere, and they make money that way.
It'd be smart.
It would be smart.
It would be very smart.
I'd do it. I don't know, but
What do you guys think?
yeah,
I'm excited. I do want to see more.
You sound
This
excited.
is always very exciting. Just new
You sound so
technology, new
excited.
consoles. I just hope it's backwards compatible fully, and I really want my PS4 controller to work on my PS5. Like the Wii to the Wii U. That backwards compatibility blew my mind because it was literally
Ain't gonna
all your
happen.
controllers, all your accessories, all your games. Put it on there. You literally had a Wii emulator in the Wii U. If
Ain't
they
gonna-
can do that to an extent, like where I can just plug everything that I already have, and just swap out the console, I'm gonna be a very happy person.
the only thing that supports is PSVR. That's it.
I mean, there's still a possibility of PS4 stuff, right?
PSVR.
Oh man,
Good luck.
You know what I want to see?
I don't think so. Dude, we're dealing with smug Sony.
I know.
But anyways, I mean, personally, I'm excited. I love the power,
Yeah,
the
powerful.
potential behind it. The specs on the sheet are awesome. Can they execute it? That's my question. Can they actually go ahead and launch another PS4 launch instead of the PS3 Ridge Racer
Yeah,
crap that we had
yeah.
to deal with back in the day?
They're not going to do a Ridge Racer,
They
but
learned
I
from that.
don't
Do
think.
you think so?
I don't think they're going to do
It's a different smug. This smug.
Nah, we'll see.
this. I think this is like a lazy smug.
Yeah.
It's like a
Back then it was like, boys,
We're
we
making
just
all the
had
money.
the PS2.
Yeah.
What you we're still making games for it, but here's a PS3. That was Sony back then. Today, this one it's like, hey guys, we got 90 million people.
Yeah.
What does Xbox have? Switch is doing their own thing, baby. We're good. We got 90 million people on PS Plus,
this
baby.
really makes me curious about why they're not at E3 now.
Yeah, they probably
They're
don't have
probably-
shit to show.
Yeah, exactly.
They already showed
holding their cards
everything.
close.
But then so
They can't show the same
But-
games again.
they can if they're coming out this year on the PS4.
They're
They're
not
not.
going to.
So that
It's too
means
late.
they're
It's
saving.
literally too late.
But then if that's their play, I know you said that would make people angry, but that's how you get people to buy PS5s. Last of Us, Death Stranding,
Jesus,
Ghost of Tsushima.
You know what I
People
think?
are
all
gonna riot.
launch window titles for PS5.
They're not going to be at E3, right?
Game over, Microsoft.
So they're not.
Maybe not
I
game
wanna
over,
say game
but
over.
that's a killer launched lineup.
I mean, two of
You
those are
cannot-
new IPs though. Like those are not guaranteed to sell. Granted, Kojima, okay, will sell,
Okay.
but
What?
yeah, and Ghost of Tsushima, like
Sucker Punch.
Dude.
yeah, but those are still two new IPs. The
But
new
they
IP is
look
not.
Look
Gonna,
at the people
amazing.
behind it.
I know,
And
but
cap
like
it off with The Last of
Bloodborne
Us
took
2.
a hot minute to sell. Dark Souls 3 did way better than
Well,
Bloodborne.
that's just because, noobs. But
That's
whatever.
because it's an IP. It's an IP thing. Bah.
Anyways, they're not going to be at E3.
No.
Then this is kind of goes with your March thing. PSX is going to happen holiday season.
That's what I'm thinking too.
March is
PSX
gonna-
would be like a
and it's
blowout.
By the way, guys, this is coming out in like two and a half months.
I don't know about that.
I could see them doing it.
March?
Yeah. Guess
Dude,
what else launched
PSX,
in March?
boom.
What?
Actually,
Switch.
was it March? Yeah.
Yeah, it was the
March?
Switch.
Yeah.
I said that already. I said the Switch did
Yeah.
that, but the Switch is Nintendo. They do their own shit.
Who cares? Sony.
It's not a
could be-
holiday. I don't know. They could take.
Is Sony tied down to doing what?
Definitely not, baby. And they've copied Nintendo
Definitely
before.
not, baby.
Remember the PlayStation Move? That thing sold well, didn't it?
Oh, I still have my Move
I know.
controller.
There's probably a lot of third parties.
About it.
There's probably a lot of third parties that came to Microsoft and Sony and said, "Look, we're on board with this next gen system, but we've been for the past 2 or 3 years developing this game not for your next gen system, and we don't want it to get swallowed by all these other games that people want to have launched with the new system. So can you please push that out of the holiday so we can actually not die as companies and release Borderlands 3 and not have it be drowned out by all this other amazing stuff?"
But this has been in development for 4 years.
Yeah, that's crazy to think.
Well, of
about.
course it has.
2015.
But
That doesn't mean games have been in development.
No,
but do you think that? Don't you think that they would kind of like let at least like the top dog developers?
They give them dev kits at some point.
Knew. But I think timing's always changing, and they have to. Microsoft and Sony know, even though they're competitors, they have
know.
to time it the same.
Of
course.
Those third-party developers are saying, no, you guys are coming out within a month or 2 of each other because otherwise we are getting screwed
100%,
on sales. So they are kind of forced to do it, and that's why I think
it's
okay for it to come out in March.
If
it is all logistics.
If they don't launch at the same time, the developers get screwed. Everybody makes less money.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
I don't know, but I'm excited.
Oh yeah,
So am I.
This is the fun time.
Yeah,
because now it's yes, we have like some numbers on a sheet, but it's speculation at this point. We don't really know too much.
Actually, this is way more. Oh, I don't want to get into it. This is a Sony conversation, but I was gonna say this time last gen it sucked because all we had was the Wii U as our.
That was the new.
But we have Switch now, and it's like we're fine. Just take your time.
Yeah, right.
We'll come back.
Yeah,
we got this other stuff going on.
We have
right
other
now.
stuff. Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah,
I hope it's good.
What do you guys think?
Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, man.
Do the whole likey thingamabob. Do the whole subscribey thingamabob. Do the whole little bell thing thingamabob. We've got 20, but who cares?
Yeah.
No big deal.
I don't know.
I do want more though. That was the Little
Did
Mermaid
you
reference.
really just do that?
I sure did.
Just did.
I sure did.
He
So
just
for
did.
all of you that are still listening,
Oh my God.
you're welcome, baby. Little Mermaid. Hashtag Ariel. Hashtag King Triton does not understand her.
The PlayStation Ariel coming to a store near you.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, man.
We
Follow us
heart
on
you.
IG at the Gaming Resume.
Yeah.
Because this guy's in charge of it. So
Yeah, I put a cool picture up today. It was cool.
Yeah.
Had this guy called Joker.
Who's he from?
Persona 5.
Well, I guess until next time.
Yeah.
Deuces.
You never saw it coming.
Oh gosh.
Awkward goodbye.
Do.
Like what you saw? Check out some of our other videos and be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with our latest content. Thanks for your support and thanks for watching.